What's up, everybody? Thanks for joining me on the ride into work. Had to take a little detour today and pick me up some bullets, because those bad boys are hard to come by for the 5.56.223 world. Anyways, wanted to talk to you guys about the Juicy Jesse Smollett. That whole ordeal really freaking upset me. I haven't been saying much about it, just because I try and stick to some of the local topics. But I mean, the verdict is out. You know what I mean? The man faked a hate crime, and to me, I just feel like you should get the same sentence for faking a hate crime. You should get just the same penalty as the person that would perpetrate a hate crime. And I really hope that they just nail this fruitcake to the fucking wall, because here we are battling so much, from the leftist echo chambers of racism in America and all this, and here you have a talented actor. I don't know how talented he was. I never heard of him until that happened. But he's an actor. He's been paid for a living to play this part, and that's all he's doing right now, is playing a part. They know that he paid two people from another country to stage their whole ordeal, all for the sake of being the victim, which the left is really good at. And everybody's a freaking victim until you prove that now we have more cases of faked hate crimes in America than we actually do real hate crimes. And even the hate crimes that they're claiming, they're having to go above and beyond to prove these things are actually hate crimes. It makes you wonder if they actually, like, the person that committed the crime actually maliciously came out and attacked somebody because of their race or their sexuality. Sorry, I'm driving through place I don't normally like to drive through, just because of how busy it is. But yeah, I mean, I know I've heard a couple of conservative voices out there that are just like, nail this guy, nail him to the wall. And it just goes to a conversation I was having with a client of mine yesterday. I don't mind debate. I don't mind, hey, what's your opinion? This is my opinion. Yeah, we don't agree. That's normal to me, and I think it should be normal to everybody. We're not supposed to all be alike. We're not supposed to all believe the same thing, but we can come to a common consensus about it. And in the mere fact that just discussing it, you are both broadening your ability to be more knowledgeable in the subject. And we were discussing the George Floyd murder, and I still call it a murder. I don't, the gentleman I was talking to said, it's manslaughter. I'm like, well, have you watched the full tape? And he's like, no, I watched 22 minutes. Well, it was much longer than that. And the mere fact that, one key piece of evidence can change your mind from manslaughter to murder really quickly. Obviously, it's debatable on the escalation and the de-escalation, that once George Floyd, went unconscious, a de-escalation, which means the knee off of the neck, check the pulse. They're supposed to be held to an above average standard when it comes to serving the public, not a below standard. And I think that's a 9/11 thing, right? They ran into the towers and and risked their lives, and a lot of them died. And ever since then, we've been holding them up like they deserve to be on a pedestal and held to a lesser standard, when the standard that ran into those buildings was a higher standard. It was a higher standard of police officer and a man in general, that, you know, that they would risk their lives. And we've gone from risking our lives to, you know, this almost scary kind of, anyways, I'm not trying to go there. I support police officers. I judge police officers on an individual basis, just like people, because, you know, popular consensus says that they're still people. But, you know, the one key and critical piece of evidence for me that says it was murder, and that they knew something was wrong with George Floyd, was the fact that at the very end of the 8 minutes, an ambulance showed up. Well, the police called that ambulance. So you tell me, the police knew that George Floyd needed an ambulance. Now, do I think that they purposefully tried to kill him? No. But they did purposefully ignore his ranting and crazy calls that he did tell them he thought he was overdosing. He did long before the altercation came to the ground. Told him he thought he was dying, that he couldn't breathe. Obviously, he had COVID as well, as a lethal amount of fentanyl in his system. Now, if I told you, hey, you know, I think I've taken too many drugs, or hey, I think I'm sick, and I'm acting sporadically, well, it's because of the amount of drugs. And I guess it's all about perspective. You'd have to be put into that position, but I know that the minute that you know, George Floyd went unconscious, I know 100% without a doubt, I would not have continued the amount of restraint. I would have also been worried about George Floyd's life in my hands, because that's essentially what Derek Chauvin had. And this piece of shit, Juicy Smollett, to fake a hate crime just to be another person of color to be remembered throughout the ages. I'm fucking flipping out of my mind that a jury and a judge in 2021 would rule that he was faking it, and have more than enough proof to do so, but still come to the verdict that, hey, he faked this hate crime. So I'm anxiously awaiting what his sentence is, and I hope it is brutal. Again, guys, I actually had my I told you that I started putting my things back up on YouTube, and of course they immediately started getting flagged, but I literally got a yellow flag notice from my ride into work. Apparently I said some stuff about ivermectin, or the fact that it's going to take 75 years to find out what's in the vaccine, and it was ruled as false information, even though it's all true. So fuck you, YouTube. I'm usually not this vocal or obscene with my words on the ride into work. Today's just one of them special days, I guess you could say. Not trying to take up your whole day. Guys, I'm teaching a survival class in 2 days. I've been posting the link at the bottom. Make sure you hit the Rumble and the like button. And as always, if they're cutting us off on YouTube, go to Rumble, people. Yes, we do have our troubles with Rumble, but it's uploading capabilities. So anyways, take care, God bless, and we'll talk to y'all tomorrow.